Have you heard of the sea highway that drained Bharat's wealth for about 150 years? Portuguese ships sailed annually from Lisbon to Indian ports, looting spices, gems, silk, and so much more. Madre de Deus was just one ship that carried treasures worth billions today. And this is how they did it. Good day, namaste. I'm your friend Mitra Desai, the author of books Shitala and Flag of Ananta, and the newsletter Tejomay Bharat. And I'm on a mission to shed light on the erased legacies and forgotten stories of Bharat. What if I told you that there was a sea highway, a route that operated for 150 years? Every year, ships left Europe empty and they returned full of Bharat's treasure. This wasn't just trade, this was systematic wealth extraction. Picture this, the year is 1502 and you are standing at Goa's harbor. Portuguese ships tower over the local boats. Men in armor unload cannons and priests carry crosses. Merchants count gold coin. Now, this scene is repeated every year for over 1.5 centuries. The Portuguese called it Carreira da India, the India run. But what did it really mean for us? Well, let me paint you a real picture. Before the Portuguese arrived, Indian spices traveled overland and by the sea route. The Arab and Venetian traders, they bought from us. They sold to Europe. Everyone made profits and the system just worked. That is, until Vasco da Gama came around the African Cape. That's when everything changed. Portugal saw something they had not expected. They saw free trade and open oceans. They also saw an opportunity. Why pay the middlemen? Why not sail directly to the source? Initially, they came to trade, but they stayed back to control. But here's what our history books won't tell you. This was exploitation using the world's first systematic colonial supply chain. You see, every spring, massive ships left Lisbon. They called them naus. Wikipedia today tells us that the Portuguese word for ship is nau. If you speak any Indian language, you already know that nau, nauka, these words have been used in several Indian languages for thousands of years. It is not a Portuguese word. Someone needs to go tell them that. Anyway, so Madre de Deus was one such ship. And these weren't just cargo vessels, they were floating fortresses. Each ship carried 400 to 800 people. You had soldiers, merchants, priests, administrators, even families. Their mission? Extract maximum wealth from Bharat. This is a journey that took them 6 months. Many of the people died on the way. They died either from diseases, from storms, from starvation. But the survivors? Well, they reached our shores with one goal: take everything valuable back home. Think about the scale for a second. Every year, 4 to 10 such massive ships came just from Portugal alone, each loaded with cannons, each backed by the Portuguese crown, each arriving at our ports with legal papers, papers that said they owned our trade routes. Our local rulers had a choice: to cooperate or face the Portuguese cannons. Some cooperated, some resisted, and we'll look at many of the resistance stories on this channel as well. But for now, let's just go with this one. The Portuguese were clever. They didn't just steal, they created a system. They forced every trader to buy a license, a piece of paper that they called cartaz. Want to trade in India? Want to trade in the Indian Ocean? Pay the Portuguese. Want to sell spices? Get Portuguese cartaz. Want to buy silk? Show your cartaz. No license? Your ship gets seized and your goods confiscated. Sometimes they even sank your vessel. This is how they controlled trade across the entire Indian Ocean, from Hormuz to Malaka and from Goa to Macau. Madre de Dios was just one ship in this vast network. But when the English captured it, they found treasure worth more than £500,000. That's right, that's worth over $100 million today from just one ship. Imagine the total wealth that would have flowed from Bharat to Europe, year after year, for more than 150 years. And this wealth didn't just disappear. It built Portuguese churches, Portuguese palaces, Portuguese universities. It even funded their expansion into Brazil and Africa. Our gold, our spices, our silk, building someone else's empire. The Carreira da India wasn't just a trade route, it was wealth extraction on steroids. But that became the blueprint that every colonial power copied later. This is the erased legacy that I'm trying to uncover and talk about. The systematic way that our prosperity was transferred to Europe, ship by ship, year by year. But here's my question for you. If just one captured Portuguese ship contained so much value, how much total wealth do you think was extracted from Bharat? Comment below with your estimate and subscribe if you want to know more about such forgotten stories and legacies of Bharat. Don't forget to hit the bell icon. Next week, we are going to look at another such interesting story. For now, thank you for listening. I'll see you next time.